but I did the road.
Yeah.
But I'd come home. I was a real attentive dad.
Yeah.
Started doing Bert the Conqueror, and that's when it started getting busy for me.
Yeah.
So, when for the first 4 years of life, I was around a lot.
Because how old are your girls now?
I don't know. 100%. Cheers. This is an episode of Two Bears, One Cave in the Man Cave, my house with Speshy Weshy.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you, baby.
I don't want to turn this into a Bert cast. This is a Two Bears, One Cave.
Yes.
But congratulations.
I appreciate it, man.
Everyone needs to go to Netflix right now, watch Speshy Weshy. Maybe, look, I realized the other day, let me see that. Let me see that Two Bears, One Cave one. Oh, is that in the background of Chris? Oh, great. Leave it there.
Yeah.
I dissect specials. It's almost not fun.
Yeah.
I take things analytically, and I don't look like that guy.
Yeah, you have your toes painted.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the way you started your special off.
Oh,
5 martinis in.
Yeah,
5 martinis.
Yeah, well, because you know what happened was with that special is I was going to film it and just put it on YouTube because everybody kept saying no. All the networks, no. And, hey, can I audition? No. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to put it on YouTube. Filmed it, put it on YouTube. And at the end of the special, I say to the people I did at the Gramercy Theater in New York, I was like, this is going on YouTube. And at the end I say, fuck everybody, fuck Netflix, fuck HBO. I did on YouTube, the power of the people. I'm a man of the people. Yeah. But at the end I said, but listen, Netflix, you want to buy it, your boy will sell it. And then I walk up and we kept that in the special. So all my, fans or people who are watching like, dude, that's baller that you shit on them and they kept it in and they paid you to shit on them.
I was like, Netflix is an interesting company.
Yeah.
By the way, Christina P, Mom Jeans.
Yes.
Is it Mom Jeans?
I believe so.
Let's since it's a Two Bears, let's FaceTime her.
Let's FaceTime Christina P.
Promo for Christina P.
I'm going to see her tonight.
Fucking Tom and I are on sale in Denver. Tom is July 15th.
Yeah.
He's in the arena. I am at Red Rocks and on the September 13th. Just, all around.
I love
Two Bears love. Let's call it.
I love it. Colorado in July is nice.
What do you think of the odds we get Christina P on the phone?
I hope she picks up and she's in blackface for a bit, but we get it on camera.
I saw her promo. Yeah. She did it looks like an old MTV set. Did you see it?
I didn't see it. No.
I love the ins and outs. Like I said, I'm too analytical. And that's when I watched your special, I love that it started that way. I love to get captured. I love to be a fan of things.
Yeah.
I love to get into it. It's like when the first time I met you, you are the group of people that I secretly, and I say secretly, take responsibility for introducing you guys to. I remember saying, you gotta have Christy on your podcast. You gotta have Chris on your podcast.
You were big. I mean, I remember when I came out here and did your podcast, this was 2018, 2019. I really had almost nothing going on, no real followers. My podcast had no real numbers. And then I came out on your pod and I did Theo's pod and I went back to New York, landed, the pods came out. I didn't understand all of it. And then my followers doubled, tripled. Everything started to begin then. So I appreciate it.
You, Giannis, Mark Norman, Sam Morrell, all these guys that there's no I take pride in the fact that when watching you guys blow up, it must be how Rogan felt about Tommy when Tommy really popped.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like I'm not putting myself in this. I hope as the future goes, I be in this, but kind of how it's, you, Theo, Tom, Rogan, Joey Diaz and Ari and all that. I hope that I'm a part of that wave. And it's Andrew Schultz, Tim Dillon, Sam Morrell, Mark Norman.
Tim Dillon, dude. I remember meeting Tim Dillon with Bobby Kelly when Bobby and we went to a bar to have a cigar. And I remember Tim told me he doesn't drink and he's gay. And I thought, we have nothing in common. I'll never talk to this guy again. Yeah. And then halfway through my cigar, I'm crying, laughing, going, who the fuck is this guy?
No, Timmy is one of those guys, obviously, completely sober, he can hang with you he'll hang out with you till 7 a.m.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
You guys all have such a great, it's you guys, your generation missed for whatever reason, you guys just have you guys are almost like more fearless than we are. Does that make sense?
Well, I think because learning from you guys and watching like what you can have if you
no. Here's what it is. You ready?
Yeah.
No, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it is Two Bears.
Yeah.
You guys watched. Here's my theory. You guys watched us go on Rogan and talk absolutely reckless.
Yes.
Yes. And you were like,
yeah, I'm going to do that too.
You're like, did he just say he sexually assaulted somebody? What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, then the thing is too, because when you guys started coming up and blowing up and all that stuff, that cancel culture stuff hadn't happened yet. So we were like, I was like, I'm just going to do what they're doing. And then I do it. And then it's like, no. You'll get arrested for that shit in 2022. Yeah.
That was the fucking.
But you know what it is? I think, even with my special, even with the Speshy Weshy, when I did it, I was like, a lot of times comedians do a special, they'll have a free audience. Just come and I want it to look filled. I was like, no, I'm going to sell tickets. I'm going to do this as a regular show. I don't care. I said, if there's 18 people in the crowd, I'll do the special and put that out. I'm going to be real with everything real. And so that's why when I said in the beginning of the special, that was true. There had some venue issues. So I was just there. I was getting very nervous. I'll be honest. And I just started crushing martinis.
I mean, have you stopped drinking for a sec?
I did stop drinking. I did stop drinking for a while. And then I started drinking a lot. And then I had to stop again. So now I've slowed it down. I'm trying to do a thing where I only have a drink once every 21 days. I'm trying. And
you're going to have a drink tonight.
I'll have a drink tonight.
Yeah.
I'll just immediately abandon it. I'll abandon it. If literally that's all it takes. I'm like, I'm going to do it once every 21 days. But then if you were just like, but do you want to have one drink? I'll say absolutely.
You want to have a drink?
If I had a drink yesterday. Yeah, I'll have a drink.
Let's have a drink. Let's have a drink. Hey, listen, I sold out the Greek last night.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, let me tell you something.
You got a good scotch or something? What do you want to drink?
Can I introduce you?
Yes. Here we go.
This is Winston Churchill.
The great
Winston. His favorite. This is what he'd wake up to. It's his whiskey he'd wake up to. It was given to me by the guy who does the Prideful Goat. I should he gave me this too. This was distilled on my birthday.
Yes. Dude, anyone that could beat back the Nazis,
a little some ice, maybe.
Drink.
Is there an ice bucket in here? No. Yeah. Dude, Winston Churchill was a bad motherfucker.
A badass dude.
Yeah,
Winston Churchill.
Badass motherfucker. Well, we can have a cigar too if you want one.
I've never smoked a cigar. Not once
ever
in my life.
Bad idea to do it inside if it's your first time.
I've never smoked a cigar, and I very rarely smoked a cigarette or weed or anything. I've done edibles, started doing edibles a little bit recently, but I don't smoke. There's a lot of times where I don't feel like a real guy. Like I don't.
It's so funny. That's why I like you.
Right.
Because you are a real guy. Like you're a great basketball player. You're a physical therapist, right?
I was a physical therapist, and let's specify great. I was a great Division III basketball player.
Oh, hold on. So that's better than Tom Segura.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. But I will say, like when Tom Segura got injured, that's what some of the people on my team look like naturally, like just their arms and just contorted because we're Division III athletes.
I'm using my hands.
I don't care, dude.
Yeah, but that's why I like you, and I think that's your appeal is that you're obviously a man. Like if there was a fight in the club, and I think I'd feel safe next to you.
Right.
But at the same time, you're also the guy that would never start a fight at a club.
I would never start a fight. And I will be honest, there's a chance I might run away from the fight if it's happening. Yeah. I just might. I mean, I'm saying to you now that I'd fight, but when push comes to shove, literally, I may run. It's possible.
Here, we'll give you a little one because you have a show tonight. Just a little taste.
Thank you, Bubba.
This is Winston Churchill. This is what he'd wake up to. This is his favorite rye.
Winston Churchill. Here we go. Let me take a sip to him. Winston Churchill, greatest quote of all time.
Ooh, okay.
You like Winston Churchill quotes?
I love Winston Churchill quotes.
Here we go. It's literally a thing that I heard when I was in my late 20s. I love history. I love Winston Churchill.
Oh, that's right. I love history too.
We love history. So Winston Churchill said, and a thing that literally, I'm talking about a moment in time that helped my brain chemistry change on just being accepting. He said, do you know this quote? Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. And I was like, wow.
See, that's all I need.
Wow. Just continue. If you did great, you sold at the Greek last night. Congratulations. It's amazing. But that's not final.
No.
And if you didn't sell at the Greek last night, Who cares? It doesn't matter. The bottom line is you got your hungover ass up into that cold plunge pool. You got into that sauna. You painted those toes, and you started that podcast because you continued.
Sat out in the sun. I sat out in the sun and said my gratitudes today.
Yes, you put on your Bruno Mars hat, and you came out here, and you said, "I'm the new Indiana Jones, bitch." And yes, see, failure is not failure; it's a courage to continue. That counts. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. I'd like to tell that to my daughter.
He
yes,
dude.
I mean, we are guys that have 2 daughters.
I mean,
Tom has sons, right?
Tom has sons.
Is this Christina P? Hold on.
Oh, that's right. I never called her.
Oh wait.
Shit.
Who the fuck is this?
Answer it.
No, I can't do it. It's Tank Sinatra. Do you know Tank?
Yeah, of course.
Want me to answer it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Tank. Listen, hold on. Before you scream a slur like you normally do, I'm on Two Bears, One Cave right now, live with Bert Kreischer. He says hello.
Hello, Bert. How are you, Bert? I'm smoking a Patron 1926 number 47. It had your name on it, but I lit it.
God damn it! I want to smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sorry, dude.
I love you, Tank.
I love you so much.
What's your favorite Winston Churchill quote? I know you're a history guy.
If you're going through hell, keep going.
Yep. If you're going through hell, keep going.
I love that.
Winston Churchill. All right, Tank. I'll sext you in a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Is it important what we have to talk about?
It's never important, dude.
That's true. Tank, by the way, is a very good philosopher. He helps me get through a lot of times because he's like a jack guy on steroids openly, and just is like but he's the wisdom and vision he has, and the kind of how much he reads and how thoughtful he is he really helps you out of jams.
Really?
Like he's stronger mentally than he is physically.
I've been trying to get him on the podcast.
You hear that, Tank?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Bubs.
Oh, yeah.
Tank's not interested. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.
All right, we're calling Christina P.
Calling Christina P.
Good. I just thought it was sunburnt.
No, look over
hey, we're doing an episode of Two Bears, One Cave.
Oh, you are? Hi.
Hey, congratulations on the new special. When this airs, your special will be streaming on Netflix. So we thought we'd do a little promo for you.
You're the best. I love you so much.
I love you too. You're doing a show with look who I'm with.
Hi, I'm your husband.
Speshy Weshy is out, homie.
Speshy Weshy's out, baby.
I'm so proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you. We did our specials at the same theater. You did the Gramercy Theater. I did the Gramercy Theater. Look at us.
And then tonight, are you going to do Amy Schumer's thing?
Yes, I'm going to do Amy Schumer's thing.
Fucking A.
Are we going to have fun or what?
We're going to fucking party, bro.
Hell yeah, cuz.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to promo your special on Two Bears.
You're my favorite. I love you so much.
Hey, I was just telling him I loved your promo you did. It looked like an old MTV set where you're like, I love the internet. I loved it.
I wanted to be like remote control.
Oh my God. It was fucking awesome.
Thank you. I spent a fortune. It took $10 million, but it was worth it.
Let me tell you something. The one thing the Segura family has taught me, it's okay to spend money.
Yes.
Oh, you should see. So the outfit that I wear in mom jeans, that's that outfit I'm wearing. When we invoiced for it, Netflix goes, we've never spent this much on an outfit. You have to tune in just to see what I'm wearing.
I can't wait.
And then I added like diamonds to it. Shit.
Hell yeah. That's my babe.
Where's Tommy with you? Where's he?
Oh, he's somewhere like Greensboro or something.
Oh my God. I leave for Kansas City tomorrow.
Hey, are you around June 25th?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm having a birthday party. I want you guys to come. We're gonna get fucking lit, bro.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. I smoked so many joints last night, Push.
You did?
I rolled 4 joints for myself and I smoked all of them.
You did not.
I swear to God, I did the Greek last night, so I got done and I got fucking wasted.
Did you get attacked too?
No, I had a great opening joke that I murdered. No, I murdered. Oh my God, what am I doing? I had a great opening joke. They were like the New York Giants of a security up front, all big black dudes. And I was like, none of my fans are getting past these guys.
Yeah.
And then I said, and it's a Greek. If you come up here with a knife, you got to stab me in the back.
Yeah.
Hey!
Whoa.
Let me tell you, I did did the Regent Theater the first night I got here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And someone got shot right next door. And my agent was like, there's a hostage situation next to your theater, but they're going to open up traffic in like an hour. It should be fine for your guests. I'm like, that's retarded. There's police tape in front of the Regent when I did my show. And then like a few hours later, Chappelle got attacked. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh my God.
There was one guy rushed the stage last night on my show, but to give me a joint. And the black guy just let him go. I go, I like your discretion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you becoming the pot comic?
No. I had acid reflux. I threw up. There's a viral video that's going to be going out pretty soon. Push. I went out. This is a true story. So we go out to dinner. My show gets canceled in Spokane. Hamilton collapses the stage, right? So I go out to dinner. I start drinking in the morning. I go out. I drink all day. I smoke weed. I smoke a cigar. I play disc golf, IPAs, dinner, 2 martinis, shots of tequila, a bottle of wine, a steak of some fish, and then an Irish car bomb. And at 4 a.m, I wake up and for the first time in a very long time, I throw up aggressively.
Whoa.
I throw in front of my tour bus, in my underwear at 4 a.m, waking people up. If that video does not get released, I will be shocked.
Yeah.
It is, and it's me at my lowest. I think I start crying. And so I had to go to I lost my voice totally. I had to go to an ear, nose, and throat guy. He gave me a couple shots and he was like, hey man, no booze, no nothing.
Did you drink though?
Did they put a scope down your throat?
They scoped my throat.
Did you get hard?
Stop. I don't want to do the scope. That's horrible.
He did the scope and he found an ulcer in my throat. And he was like, hey man, he was like, we're putting you on Pepcid, on this like really strong antacid. You can't eat after 6, no coffee, no alcohol. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have alcohol. He goes, you got to limit your alcohol intake. I was like, all right, give me a week. Let me get off the road and then I'll do it.
Here's a side effect with that. Could probably put you on like a mesoprol, which is like anti-acid reflux. I had it. I GERD. That a side effect of that medication that they don't tell you, that's wild side effect of a medication. You can't sneeze. What? You'll feel like you're gonna.
Dude, fuck! You know. By the way, Push, you know me. How bad does that just fuck my head up?
I swear to God.
Now you're gonna be obsessed about sneezing.
No, listen. I was on the medication, and a week and a half go by, 2 weeks, and I keep feeling like I can't sneeze. I keep feeling like an but it like won't chew, and then I
but it won't chew.
Yeah. So my friend is a doctor. So I called him and I was like, dude, I haven't sneezed in 2 weeks. Like, do I have like some type of tumor that's like paralyzing my cranial nerves? Like, what's happening? And he genuinely said to me, he goes, I have real patients to deal with. Like, either sneeze or don't sneeze, you asshole. And I was like, and I couldn't deal with it. And then I went on Quora and the Ask Jeeves thing and all that. And I was talking to people about this. Like, I was like, answers, like, I need help. Like, who hasn't sneezed? Like, I looked to the internet and people were being like, it's got to be a side effect of medication, And I started communicating with this one guy. His name was Pujveet. He was from Bangladesh. He hadn't sneezed, he said, in like 2.5 years. He didn't sneeze. He said 2.5 years because he was saying the medication. He was like, it's your medication. And he wouldn't sneeze. And then I was like, oh my God. So I stopped taking it. And now I just deal with the acid reflux because I don't want to go. It's so terrifying.
I bet Anne Frank would have been like, I would have loved that medication. Push, I miss you. If you have time, come over and see the house.
I can't. I will. I love you.
I love you too. Congrats on Mom Jeans.
Congrats on Mom Jeans.
Have a great set tonight.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye. I'll see you later.
Tom fucking scored with that one.
Have they never seen the house?
Tom
nice. Was that a fart or was that
a fart? It was a fart.
Nice.
Tom has, she hasn't. We used to be really, really, really close. I mean, obviously Tom and I are still very close, but Leanne and Push were closer than me and Tom at a point. Like she would come over and hang out with the girls all the time. You know, Tom and I were working, and Push, when she had a night off, she'd just come over to our house
and chill.
Yeah.
But now because they live in Texas.
We went down and spent some time with them, and that was nice. It was great to see their boys, but it kind of sucks that we're not in their life the way they were in our life, because they were in our life. I'm not every night, obviously, but like almost. Like if I came home from the road, I'd call Tom. They'd come over. They were broke at the time, like really broke.
I was gonna say, because you and Tom, it's not like you guys became friends when you guys started to blow up. You were friends when you both had nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
But see, that's the thing is like, I always say that, like, I don't know why other people like Tom. Like, I know why I like him. Like, I liked him when he had nothing.
Right.
So when I see other comics liking Tom, I always go, I get skeptical. It's like, when you see someone blow up, you go, yeah, but I was there at ground zero. Like,
Yeah.
I always talk about this on stage sometimes, but like, the subtlety of Tom is the funniest thing.
Right.
If you're not this sounds horrible. If you're not his best friend, you don't get the best parts
Of Tom.
It's the best parts. The best parts of Tom are these. Like that. That's it. The Tom's, knowing him as well as I do and seeing someone do something. I remember watching someone one time going in and say, "You got water?" The way he said it, I looked at Tom. Tom looked at me immediately. And that's the fun part. It's like when you put that much into a relationship, you get those little moments,
right?
And those are the fucking, like, he blows out his knee, breaks his arm. We get a push. This is like, I always fantasized about having a relationship the way Don Rickles and Bob Newhart did.
Yeah,
they're like best friends.
Best
at
friends,
dinner every day, lunch today, every day. I always fantasized about that because I thought that would be cool. And then I guess you get it. Not obviously, we're not Bob Newhart and them. But like when they talk about their wives. So like when Tom blew out his knee and broke his arm, I called Leanne. I got on the interstate.
Yeah.
We were way down by the airport. I got on the interstate and I called Leanne and I go, I said, Tom's really hurt. And she was like, "What happened?" I said, "I think he fucked up his knee and he broke his arm in half." She goes, "What?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "All right, come get me." I said, "Where are we going?" She goes, "Honey, Push isn't handling this well." And I went, "Really?" She goes, "Call Push." So I three-way call Push. I'm in the car. I'm getting on the interstate. I go, "Push." She goes, "Tom's in the ambulance. He's going to the hospital. What are you doing?" I said, "I just got on the interstate. What are you doing?" She goes, "I opened a bottle of wine." And I went, "All right, we're on our way."
Yeah.
So we went down. We see her in her kitchen. She's panicking. And she goes, "I made muffins." And Leanne's like, "Thank God we're here." She goes, "Bert, go to Rite Aid, get all the fucking stuff he's gonna need.
Yeah.
Push, let's have a glass of wine and eat some muffins."
Eat some muffins. Wine and muffins. Oh.
So we get Tom into his screening room, like downstairs.
Yeah.
And he is like this. I carry him in from his fucking little sports car or whatever. I carry him in, I get him into his thing, I lay him down, and Push comes in with a glass of wine and muffins, and then she goes, "I found Nutella." So it's those moments like that. So out of that whole thing, I have two moments that I'll never forget with Tom. Leanne stands over him, he's laying on the thing, and she goes, "Well, you're about to get fat as fuck."
Yeah.
And Tom just looks at me like, my wife is a brutal fucking
good.
The other favorite, and he just looks at me and I fucking fall out laughing. The other
Right.
one is we get him in the medical transport. The next day I come back down. Should have just spent the night there. I come back down, get a medical transport. We get him in the thing. Tom is in leg like this, arm like this, in a wheelchair, strapped into a van where the guy has been smoking very clearly a lot. He has long hair. The windows are down. It's COVID.
Yeah.
He's got a mask on, but it's blowing everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to him in a jump seat. And the guy goes, "So what do you guys do for a living?" And I go, "We're comedians." And Tom just glares at me. He goes, he goes, "Oh yeah." I go, "Tom, tell him a joke." Those are like when you invest in a friendship, those are the moments that.
Yeah. And I think that's why your guys' pod does so well, because it's not like, somebody just put you two together because they think it would make money. It's just like a genuine thing. It's like the money comes second. That's what Oprah Winfrey always says. The money comes second. The passion's first and the money second. And it's just literally, I mean, you guys it's just your friendship on display, which is an amazing time to live in, because I feel like if this was 20 years ago, this friendship would just stay behind closed doors and that would be no good.
Yeah.
Because it helps other, like you guys, it's never anything really serious. It's always silly. All the clips you guys post are just, it's like an awesome thing. And I only met Tom when he had already, started to become Tom. So
wait, tell me about your experience with Tom.
Okay, so I never met. I had saw the only thing. Tom, I think, was already on his maybe second Netflix special when I started comedy. So
really,
so yeah. So you guys were already both like on your way, like all those moments of the, I was doing open mics or like not even knowing anything yet. So I started to know.
So wait, what year did you start comedy?
Like 2010.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you guys, you weren't at the level you're at now, but you were already like moving up.
So 2010, I'm trying to think, how old was I? It was 12 years ago?
12 years ago, yeah.
I was 30. Okay. So I was still working at Travel Channel. We were probably just started doing Rogan.
Yeah.
And Tom.
But Rogan wasn't at that level yet.
And that was the fun time of like.
When nobody was listening to it.
And everyone was broke. Rogan's the only one with money.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that was fucking
fun, right?
Yeah. And so when was the first time you remember seeing Tom?
So I remember seeing Tom as he came in on Opie and Anthony to New York. He came in and I was like, I would be on Opie and Anthony once in a while, and he came on in Opie and Anthony, and I remember him coming in and like just being like really funny and like really dark comedy, and he just fit in because there was a lot of comics that I would come see, maybe from LA or whatever. They would come and they would just try to be too funny or try to make.
What do you mean Opie and Anthony? Were you doing Opie and Anthony?
Yeah, I was like one of the. I wasn't like a regular, but they would give me like as a no name unknown comic like one shot a month or something like that.
Really?
One of those times I was on with Segura, and I remember being like, oh, I'd seen, because Netflix wasn't even a big thing yet. Like,
dude, when Netflix, I remember he said he sold his thing to Netflix, and I said I didn't know what it was. I go, do you want to come on my podcast to promote it? And he went, no.
Yeah.
And I went, why? And he goes, it's kind of just on there.
Yeah.
He's like, people find it. He's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I went, really? And he goes, yeah, they find it. And I didn't realize Netflix was a big deal until he said Mike Tyson watched it. He was like, I was on a plane.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson came up and was like, hey man, I saw you on Netflix.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is Netflix?
Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by Policy Genius. Why do you need life insurance? Listen, if you have people you love and that you care about, you need to make sure they're taken care of in the unforeseeable, unimaginable something happens to you. Here's the deal. If you're young, you're probably thinking, yeah, but that doesn't apply to me. I'm young. I'm healthy. Now's when to get life insurance, is when you're young. It gets more expensive the older you get. So it's smart to get a policy sooner as opposed to later. I did that. I got my first policy when I was 31 years old. Boom. Great rates. Go to Policy Genius. Here's how Policy Genius works. Policy Genius is your one-stop shopping to find the insurance you need at the right price. Click the link in the description in the head or whatever. Go to policygenius.com/2bears1cave to get started. In minutes, you can compare personalized quotes from top insurers to find your lowest price. I'm telling you, you can save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. The licensed agents at Policy Genius are on hand throughout the entire process to help you understand your options and make decisions with confidence. The Policy Genius team works for you, not the insurance companies. They don't add extra fees. They don't sell your info to third party, and they have thousands of 5-star reviews across Google and Trustpilot. I'm telling you right now, this is what you got to do. Go to Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/2bears1cave to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/2bears1cave to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you can save.
Isn't it crazy that in 2022 we have high-speed internet, celebrities going to space, electric cars, and yet people are still cleaning their bums the way our Victorian brothers and sisters did, with toilet paper? Step into the 21st century and upgrade your bathroom routine and start washing your bum with Hello Tushy bidets. You will feel like an absolute savage the first time you don't use this and you have to take a big, mushy, squirrely dump again. Also, if you're like me and you're begging and pleading to get your scrum eaten, there's only one way to do it, and that's with a clean back end. The Hello Tushy bidet attachment attaches to your existing toilet, installs in less than 8 minutes, and cuts down your toilet paper use by 80%, saving money and paper waste. Hello Tushy has cleaned over 1 million happy bums. Join them. Take care of your business the cleaner way. We want all of our listeners to have clean bums. Visit HelloTushy.com/bears to get 10% off plus free shipping right now. Tag at Hello Tushy on any social media so they can celebrate your clean butt and maybe your scrum eaten with you. That's HelloTushy.com/bears for 10% off.
And then I remember Bill Burr had a special. It was a black and white one. It was one of my favorite specials. And I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And someone said, man, you're fucking Bill. It's on Netflix. And I was like, the fuck is Netflix?
Yeah.
And my wife's like, oh, honey, we have Netflix. So I watch it all the time. I'm watching ... And I went in and I turned on Tom's special in our bedroom on Netflix. And I went, huh.
Yeah.
And then I saw all the ones that I was like, and it was like,
yeah.
And I was like, wait, I don't even know some of these people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is good. And then it was like Bill Burr, Tom Segura. Bill Burr, Tom Segura.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with Tom, what I liked about Tom when I first met him that time is like he was so funny and dark, but also like humble. He was the only guy
He's so humble
that I remember. There's no way even he remembers this because at that point, you know, he had already had the Netflix specials. He was he was the invited guest. Like, He was a big deal, already headlining, selling out. Maybe he was even doing a theater in New York at that time. I don't know. But he was like, you know, I said, oh, hey, you know, I'm Chris. And I, you know, was like, oh yeah, I'm still doing open mics or whatever like that. And he was like, yeah, man. He goes, keep going. How long you been doing it? And then asked me like follow-up questions. And I was like, oh, wow. Normally, you know, I know now, like, even if somebody said to me, I was an open micer, I just like, oh, you know, great. You know, knock it out of the park. Don't give up, whatever. But it's like, you know, you don't ask questions to them.
Yeah.
But Tom was just like, asked me like follow-up questions. Like, oh, that's funny. That's good. I've done that room. Like he gave me like probably a minute, of his time, but that felt like an hour of his time. And I was like, wow, he was really nice to me. And then I remember watching him like slowly blow up with everything. And what I vividly remember is how bad Tom used to look on the covers of his first and second Netflix specials. And then I hadn't seen him. And then all of a sudden he came up on the third special. And I was like, who is this Latin man on my screen? And then I said, is that Tom Segura? The only person who's looked literally how good Tom looks versus how bad he looked is, I think, the widest gap. The only guy who comes close to that is Nate Bargatze.
Oh,
when you look at how absolutely atrocious Nate looked,
amazingly,
because of how handsome Nate is. I mean, literally, Nate Bargatze used to look like a fat woman 10 years ago. He looked like a fat lesbian, and now he looks like a handsome Republican.
Puka necklace or something. Pull up ugly Nate Bargatze.
Ugly Nate Bargatze went from literally like he looked like a fat lesbian Democrat to now he looks like a skinny Republican rich man.
Oh, fat Nate Bargatze.
And Tom is in that realm where that was the most shocking thing was I was like,
oh yeah.
Look at how great Tom Segura looks. I mean, look at old Nate. There's pictures of Nate.
Fucking horrible.
Horrible, dude. He looked he looked like he had a disease.
So ugly.
And I'm saying that
he does look sick, actually.
He looks sick because now he's incredibly handsome, Nate Bargatze. Like incredibly handsome. There's even crazier pictures
of Nate. He almost looks like a puppet. Back to that.
Look at this. Look at this picture down here. I mean, look at this, dude. Look at this. He looks like Jared the Subway guy if he was fat.
Wow, he is amazingly unattractive.
Amazing. And now look at how handsome Nate is. Look at how handsome Nate is right now. And
Nate's
same with
really good looking.
And look pull up. This. Dude, look at that, dude. He looks like Tig Notaro in that picture.
He does.
And then pull up Tom. And then old Tom, you know, I'm sure you guys have spoken about this, but the old Tom Segura covers.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I love about him and Christina P's relationship. I mean, this guy looked like if you would have told me, there's an old picture of Tom. Maybe there's one. I think it's his first. If you would have told me, hey, this guy here is going to live past 40, I'd be like, you lying. And now look at how handsome Tom is. He's got like gray hair.
Look at this one. Go to that one right there. Go to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just nothing. And now Tom, look at it. Tom looks phenomenal.
Yeah. No, I look like that one.
Yeah. No, Bert, you've always looked like Bert.
I look like Bert.
You've looked like Bert, even at Bert the Conqueror. You look like Bert. It's not a radical shift. I mean, dude, look at that picture with the light blue. I mean, Tom genuinely, he looks like a fat Mormon.
Oh my God. He looks like he sells houses.
Exactly, dude. He looks like he sells houses. He looks like one of these guys, like he sells houses and then like he gets involved in like some type of like gay sexual assault thing in his local community. That doesn't even
look like a double X. That looks like a triple X.
Yeah, no. And the juxtaposition between how insanely handsome and what a good dresser he is. What a good dresser both you guys are.
No, I'm not.
You would never see that.
He is into fashion.
No. It's incredible. And that's one thing I like that's shocking about Tom is how great he is in fashion and just where he came from.
Look at that.
I mean, dude, look at that, dude.
Ugh.
Yeah. He also looks like he's different. Like there, he looks like he literally, if you told me, hey, if you just cut Christina P out and you took his glass and you said, hey, that was one of the 9/11 hijackers, I'd believe you.
He is.
Tom looks like a 9/11 hijacker.
He got so much better looking. It's sad he didn't match up his best looking moments when he had hair.
Right.
He looks better without hair in a weird way.
No,
is that him or is he on Sorry?
This guy over here on the right?
On the right. Is that him?
That guy, yeah.
That's Tom.
That's Tom. Well, in that picture, he looks, wow, dude. He looks like that picture. He looks like if Chris D'Elia gained like 150 pounds. That's what he looks like in that picture. All the way to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but see, like this is a beautiful picture too. Tom and Joe Rogan, when everybody was like, they probably told him, I'm sure how many people, I would love to know, talk to Tom, how many people told him he was an idiot for starting a podcast and an idiot for going on Netflix?
Who, Tom or Joe?
I'm sure, no, Tom, both of them. I'm sure how many people told them that.
Joe is a freight train of Joe, meaning he does Joe and he sees Joe and his advice is, this is how I do it. It's not like, sometimes my advice for people is like, I see what you're doing. This is how I would do it if I were you. Joe's like, and Joe at that time was, hey man, start a podcast.
Yep.
And everyone's like, don't, your managers and agents. It's the reason no one's managers or agents are involved in our podcast.
No.
Is it literally Joe is the first one going, start a podcast. This is an extension of social media.
Yeah.
This is, you need to do this. These people are listening. Joe knew his numbers. He knew they were doubling every fucking week. They were doubling. And then we knew the pops we were getting. Like we did. I remember doing Rogan the first day and I went on Twitter and I had 6,000 followers from the live stream.
Wow.
Like 6,000 new followers. I was with Red Band.
Wow.
I was like, dude, what the fuck? I remember Red Band called Joey Diaz and Joey Diaz was on speakerphone. And I said, I was like, I felt like I was eavesdropping. And I was like, hi, Joey Diaz, it's Bert Kreischer. And Joey's like, what's up, you bad motherfucker? I just saw you on that fucking live stream. It's a great fucking story, cocksucker.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. It was like, those were like, I mean, it's not to, one day they'll do a documentary about it. And then,
of course. Yeah. It's one of those things too. I think with Joe Rogan too, is he has capitalized for entertainment and comedy, every era, like the hot thing in that era, he excelled at. The sitcom with the news radio. Then the reality show was, the sitcom was the 90s. He did that. Then the 2000s was reality show, Fear Factor, the biggest one. Then the 2010s to present podcast, biggest one. So that's something that when I watch Joe Rogan, I'm like, oh, he's very good at adapting. Because I think in anything, right, in entertainment, in life, and whatever jobs you have to adapt to the next thing.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna say this, and I hope this doesn't come off odd, and I hope everyone can appreciate it. And Joe's success speaks on its. No one's ever gonna question what got Joe Rogan to where he is today.
Sure.
It's Joe Rogan.
Sure.
But you gotta give a tad bit of credit to Brian Redban.
Yeah.
Because Brian Redban is different than Joe. They're very, very different human beings. But Joe would have big ideas like starting a podcast, and Redban would go, let's get it done. He would buy all the equipment. Like obviously, Joe is the spearhead. Joe is the reason. I don't mean you. Obviously, there's no way anyone's gonna take away is gonna be like, oh, Joe owes everything to Redban. He doesn't.
Right.
But Redban was like, Redban is very integral to this whole thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
If Redban hadn't, and this sounds crazy. This is a fucking stupid statement. But if Redban had told Joe it was a bad idea, Joe probably would have still done it. But the fact that Redban went and got all the equipment, set it up in Joe's house.
Yeah.
And Redban said, come on, and knew how to do it. And figured out how to do it. And got on Ustream and got on all those things. That is a very large portion of the equation that often I don't think is appreciated by.
I didn't even know that. So like that's something.
Really?
I didn't. I mean, I obviously know who Redban is, but I didn't know really any of that. I just even started just as a listener to podcasting just really a couple of years ago because I was like, got into so I was one of those people where like I didn't, even though I'm in comedy, I didn't really consume comedy like, Mark Norman and Sam Morrill. Like I like they should write a book on comedy. They're comedy nerds, comedy savants. I'm just wasn't like that. I didn't watch much comedy growing up. I just didn't do it. I started doing comedy as like a defense mechanism because I like miss my dad. That's why I did comedy. That's genuinely why I did it. Is I would create up stories till my dad would like listen to me. So I would like do that. And so when I came from all this, like, getting into
You were an Opie and Anthony guy, right?
I was, but I never listened to it ever. I just started getting on the show. I didn't know Howard Stern. I was one of those guys. Even all the classic comedy movies that you have to see, and I've seen almost none of them. And it's just like, I don't know why that is, but I'm just trying to trust my instinct to be like, well, maybe that's somehow working out for me because maybe my voice sounds a little different. I don't know. But I'm just like, if I have to listen to it or watch it, I'll do it. But like with the Red Band stuff, I didn't know like any of that. So like for me to hear that is like, oh wow, that's cool, because there's always people behind the scenes that
Red Band, not to go too into the weeds on this, but like Red Band was a fucking, he still is. He's not dead, but like he was a very like, he would pick you up. Like for me, he'd pick me up because he knew I'd drink. We'd drive out to Joe's, we'd bullshit. Sometimes, and I'm sure you can find these episodes. I'm sure they're out there. Sometimes if you were walking into Joe's life, this wasn't like the podcast like it is now. Right. You were walking into Joe's life. Right. You went into his house.
Right.
His kids were running around.
Yeah.
His wife was there. He'd make you a green shake in his kitchen.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain to anyone, but it's not what it is today. So sometimes Joe would be in a bad mood. He would never do that now. You would never see that now.
Yeah.
You can find this episode. I'm sure you can find this episode.
Yeah.
He was in a bad mood, and the whole time he just was taking it out on Red Band, and I was just sitting in a room with Joe and Red Band fighting for 3 hours.
It's just a spectator.
And it was like, but Red Band was, and this is all, you can giggle about it, obviously. Red Band sometimes was so fucking distracting. I remember Joe saying to him in this podcast, do you know people are listening to this, right?
Yeah.
And Brian's like, yeah. And he's like, well, stop saying that. You're wasting people's time. And I'm just sitting between them going, whose team am I on?
Yeah, you don't know.
Red Band's my ride home, but it's Joe's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Band was like a really fun. It was a really fun.
See, like, and I feel like I want to meet Red Band. I've never met him. I've never even been on Rogan's podcast. Like I've only met Joe Rogan.
Never been on Rogan's podcast?
Never once. I've only met Rogan one time my whole life. So,
oh my God, you were fucking murder on Rogan's podcast.
I hope to get on. I think Joe had told me that I was going to come on. He texted me, gave me a date. I haven't heard from him since then, but hopefully everyone's told me Ari Shaffir and was like, if he gave you a date, it's a date. He's going to text you a few days before. Just go book your flight.
When's your date?
May 23rd.
Oh, for real?
Monday, May 23rd is when he said. But I haven't heard from him, but I booked a flight to Austin and booked a show there the next day, May 24th at the Vulcan.
May 23rd.
But I'll be there May 23rd. I'm going to be in Austin whether I show up or not.
Yeah, I'm on May 18th.
Okay. Yeah. So
if Rogan texts you, Rogan's like I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to steal this from him. Every Sunday he sits down and maps his day out, but if it goes in his calendar, he is not a flake at all.
No,
he is a. I wish I could delegate the way he does. I think he does it himself.
Yeah,
he is a like, hey man, like it was one of my. I have so many great Rogan stories. I
believe it.
I have so many great Rogan stories. I have so many great, like, I have so many that I can't tell, but I have so many that are just like. Well,
because he's been your friend for like a genuine friend for what, 15 years?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's not even about the podcast. It's like, this is just a person in your life.
Oh, it's like, I can't even, it's funny. It's the things that upset people about Joe. It's like the same thing about Tom. The things that upset people about Joe are the things I like about Joe. They make me giggle.
Right.
Because I know Joe.
You just know him.
I just know him. And I so like the text threads that you get in with Joe.
Yeah.
They're fucking hilarious.
Hilarious. Yeah.
And then you know what's going to make the things that make me, like, I think 'cause I'm such a large personality that I live out loud and they're more quiet dudes.
Yeah.
That the things that I know that I do that I can't really share. Like yesterday I bought an AK-47.
Amazing.
And I texted Joe and Tom and Ari. I was like, I woke up and realized I bought an AK-47 last night. and they're like fucking. Ari goes, I want to shit on you. This is the most Bert thing you've ever done.
It's amazing.
Or like we're doing Fully Loaded Festival, and I got a mascot made of myself. So, and they're like, of course you did. But like those, it's funny, you know. Oh, you're gonna murder on Rogan. I can't wait.
I'm excited to go because, you know, I feel a little bit of a sense of, I don't want to say pride, but it calms me a little bit when I, you know, am having a career that, you know, it's moving up and starting to sell real tickets now. The theater's not at your guys' level yet, but I feel like for the first time in my career, I am controlling my fate. It's not like, oh God, I hope I get this. I hope this happens. Like, no, I know I'm cultivating my audience and we're growing together, just like you guys did, little by little, and I feel it happening. And I'm like, I did it all with no TV, no corporate, and no Rogan, which you know
is really hard.
It's hard because I felt like, you know, all my peers that got on Rogan, granted, it's not a magic bullet. You have to do well and crush, and my friends that got huge off Rogan deserve to be huge off Rogan.
You don't have to do well, because Shane Gillis was maybe one of the most hilariously bad Rogan episodes I've ever seen.
He leaned into it.
It was so enjoyably bad. It was, and by the way, this is like a diehard Rogan fan.
Yeah.
Diehard best friend.
Yeah.
And no, I've known Shane Gillis for like fucking 12 years.
Yeah.
So like, it was so enjoyable.
So funny.
It's so funny. My favorite thing on Rogan is watching someone throw a joke. Soder was on the other day, right? And he says something about, I wish I could get the exact clip. Let's call Soder and see if he remembers it. He's still in Canada. He's got COVID.
Soder is, by the way, I personally think one of the funniest guys of my entire generation.
I met him through Bob Kelly. You know, let's move this backwards.
Yeah.
How about no one gives, because right now, you know what Bob Kelly's hearing?
What?
Hey man, I discovered all these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
He did.
Yep.
Bob Kelly,
he's the Godfather, man.
He you know what, dude, was such a launching pad for so much great talent.
Yeah.
And now all that talent, like I met Soder there, I met Tim Dillon there, I met everyone doing that. I remember guest hosting, it was like a murderer's lineup, and I didn't know anyone.
No, yeah.
I guest hosted for Bob, and I was crying, laughing, going, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah. No, they're I mean, the impersonations and everything that they've done. I feel like, you know, those guys, like, those all the guys that I came up with and all. And I feel like, you know, like now New York City, like it was obviously very, very clear as day. And in the comedy world, how Los Angeles, you know, for the last, whatever it is, 10 years, complete domination. You realize like, all the guys who are doing major things here are here and still here, still dominating. But now the New York guys are starting to come back too. I feel like
New York's
Shane, now they're starting to sell tickets, you know, Schultz and Tim and myself and all those guys.
New York, you know, I think the Comedy Store was a big pop. And when COVID happened, even before, I'd say a year before COVID happened, you started noticing 2 years, maybe 3 years, 2 years before you started noticing, you know what happens? I wonder is if when a generation of comics go to theaters, it opens up the clubs.
Yes.
And then those club comics fucking destroy.
Yeah.
New York's having a fucking moment right now.
Yeah. Everybody, and you know, like when you go to the comedy clubs, it's just, I mean, like Normand has been out here and Sam Morrill and these guys, and it's just like they're killing at the Hollywood Improv and Attell, and because you know, it's like I would say like, you know, like I don't know, the godfathers of like the LA stuff, like, you know, for these last couple of years, like, let's say like, you know, the top guy was like a Joe Rogan, and you guys and you and Tom, and now talking to the young guys. Well, and you were selling so many tickets and doing so many podcasts, where our guys in New York didn't do the podcasts, weren't necessarily selling the tickets, but it's like Colin, Quinn, and Dave Attell are the people who speak to us. So it's like, they're like comedy Jedis.
Well, those,
you know
guys,
what I mean?
Those guys are, I mean, I would argue, I know they're Rogan's age, but they were all television royalty.
Yeah.
Like those, I remember hearing Attell would get $25,000 to fly out to LA and punch up a Ray Romano script.
Yeah.
Like that's their generation.
Yeah.
Of like old school money. Jeff Ross, Dave Attell, Colin Quinn. I kind of, I mean, Colin Quinn's a god to me.
I mean, Colin, I just had breakfast with him this morning, and he, you know, it's like,
this morning.
Yeah. The beautiful thing about Colin is he out of nowhere one day. I was at the Comedy Cellar, whatever, struggling, like new comic. They give me either the really early set at 7 p.m., which, as people are walking in, or, 2 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. And, just kept going there, whatever. I'd see Colin. And then one day I was doing jokes about my father, about being from Brooklyn. And then after the set, Colin's like, hey, he goes, my name's Colin. I was like, yeah, obviously. He goes,
fuck, you know how much I would have wanted this to happen in my life.
He goes, let's go to Arturo's, which is on in the West Village, and on Houston Street or 6th Avenue, I forgot. And anyway, we go, and Colin just sits down with me and just starts literally ripping apart my set with constructive criticism. And he says to me, he goes, I want to work, let's hang out. He goes, you remind me of me. You're from the same, we know the same people. You have the same knacks that he was saying that he had. So he was like, let's work on that. And for 6 weeks in a row, we would meet and have coffee, and he would watch my set and just give me notes. And then we went to the Dublin Comedy Festival, and we would go out. He would watch my set. And every morning, I remember this, every morning we went to this place called the Metro in Dublin, 5 mornings in a row. He'd watch my set. He'd be there, tell me to meet him at the coffee shop at 8:30. I would always get there at 8:15. He was already there since 7:45 with 3 Diet Cokes already drank. He loves Diet Coke. He always had a muffin, a blueberry muffin or a corn muffin with butter. And he had legitimate, studio executive notes on my set on how to make it better, and how to make my comedy better, and this, that, and write that. And he told me, and I still do this to this day. He was like, you need to have a running list of all the characters in your life. Because he was like, what your life is, and my personal life. He's like, with what you have in your life. And he said this to me this morning, actually, between your father, between your children, between the Puerto Rican girlfriend, between your transgender nanny, you have things that, people try to create. He was like, Hollywood tries to create it. You have it organically. So you need to keep that running list of I'm not talking about big events. Anyone can write about a big event, like a fight or, your 9/11 story. Those are big events. I want the minutia of what somebody's saying, how they move their arm, a word they use, some type of look they give you. I need you to write all that stuff down, because that's what takes you from here to here is the minutia. That's all it's about, is minute. You already know how to think big. He was like, you're a great storyteller. He said to me, he was like, good. And he actually mentioned, wow, it's crazy that we're doing this pod. I'm just thinking this now. He was like, you and Bert are great storytellers. I was like, whoa, thanks. That's a nice comparison. And he was like, you guys tell big stories, but he was like, minute details is what I think is going to separate you from your boys. And I was like, amazing. And then he's always like, and then I'm like, oh, let's take a picture. And he's like, don't fucking, he always gets me. He's like, I don't want to do a fucking selfie with you little fucking fucker. He goes, I don't want to do a selfie. I'm giving you notes. And they just start, and then it's funny. It's like, I came in, and we've been friends for years. I come in, I was wearing this outfit. He goes, you coming in fucking workout clothes to sit with me, Colin Quinn? He goes, go upstairs and put a suit on. And I was like, I was like, oh. And he's one of those guys where, you just you get him in little moments, or he'll text me. Perfect example. 2 years ago, April 2020. I genuinely didn't know, I couldn't believe that this was happening. April 2020. Pandemic just began, whatever. Sitting at home, I get a call from a random New York City number. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. I had no idea who it was, but I picked it up and I go, hello? And he goes, hey, is this Chris? And I said, yeah. He goes, yeah, it's Jerry. And I was like, Jerry? And he goes, yeah, it's Jerry Seinfeld. And I was like, and I thought it was Pete Davidson doing a Jerry Seinfeld impersonation. Yeah. I was like, all right, Pete. I was like, what's going on, buddy? And because he always changes his number, Pete. So I was like, oh, this must be a new Pete number. He goes, no, it's Jerry Seinfeld. Colin Quinn gave me your number. And I was like, oh shit, this is really Jerry Seinfeld. So I put it on speaker, and he goes, because Jasmine was there, my girl, and my mom was there. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, fucking shh, this is Jerry Seinfeld. And
you're so like me.
Yeah, I was like, fucking Jerry. And yeah, I know. And my daughter was young now. She was 3. So they don't listen. I was like, shut your fucking mouth. I was like, give her a binky. She was like, she hasn't had her pacifier since a year. I'm
put your finger in her mouth just like that.
Just suck on that. Yeah. And then so Jerry goes, yeah, Colin gave me your number because he showed me some of your comedy, and he was just singing your praises and telling me that you're a guy I should really know. And Colin, and I was like, really? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, my kids know who you are. They saw some 9/11 clip that you did. And I said, yeah. And he goes, at first, when I saw a 9/11 clip, he goes, I'll be honest, being in New York, I don't think he knew that I was from New York. I told him in the conversation, but he was like, I thought this was a guy trying to make 9/11 funny, which it's not for me. I don't like that, to exploit tragedies. And he goes, but I watched it. And he goes, I got to be honest. He goes, that's the only thing I've seen in my, about anything about 9/11 that I'm like, oh, this genuinely came from just like a fun place and actually maybe would help people heal through it, which I got a lot of messages about that, that's what I'm really proud of the most with that bit, is like so many people like who lost a loved one in from that, or was like, this just helped me laugh about it. It's like, I know so-and-so died, would laugh at this bit. And that's like sweet. But Jerry said all like these like really, really like kind things to me and told me about all the things that he sees in me and all these nice things, but it all came from Colin telling Jerry to do that. And he said to me at the end, Jerry, he was like, listen, take my number. He goes, Colin vouched for you out of nowhere. He goes, so I respect him. He goes, text me, there's probably no stage time for a while. He goes, text me jokes. I want you to write your jokes or whatever, and text them to me. And we'll like workshop stuff. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like, holy shit, craziest thing. Told Colin. I called Colin. I was like, dude, Jerry Seinfeld called me this whole, I like just started talking the story. He goes, yeah, I know, stupid. I told him to call you. He goes, you don't have to, I know. I was like, okay. He goes, relax. It's fucking Jerry Seinfeld. It's not that big of a deal. I was like, okay. So, but then, yeah. It was so funny too. I'll get to the end, but it was so, take your time. I went to Colin Quinn's wedding, which was, and Colin, and he goes, like he's like on the God mic at his own wedding, like as people are walking in. And he goes, oh, welcome to my wedding. It's going to get started soon. And he goes, just want to make sure you guys, know if you're looking around, Jerry Seinfeld is here. So just Jerry Seinfeld's at my wedding. And then Robert Kelly's father died the same week Colin Quinn's mother died. Yeah. And Colin was at the Comedy Cellar table like a week later. And Bobby's like still actively like upset that his father passed away suddenly. And then Colin's like, yeah, he goes, Jerry Seinfeld had a choice. Whose wake to choose? And he chose me. And then Robert's like, fuck you, dude. And then so Jerry says at the end of this call with me saying all these like nice things. I was like, this is fucking insane. He goes, text me anytime, run bits. I want you to do it. And then I waited a day. I mean, I had 10 bits. I was like, I wanted to say, I waited a day, texted him a bit. In April of 2020, that bit has been left on read for the last 2.5 years. I immediately blew my chance with Seinfeld in 24 hours.
What was the bit?
I forgot.
What was the bit? Go to your phone.
No, because I got a new phone and I can't find those texts, but it was actually maybe. Let me see.
Jerry Seinfeld.
No, I've tried this already, and it's such an old phone. It never pops up. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, shit. No, see, it doesn't pop up.
I don't have. Let's see if I have.
I have. It was like some type of COVID bit. But I forgot. Yeah, let's see
if Colin Quinn answers my FaceTime.
Let's see. Well, he might be on a plane. He's flying to San Francisco.
Oh, I have a new phone. Yeah. He's not going to.
Yeah.
That's a great, I would never, I'm not in that community of like jokes, like texting jokes or clearing jokes.
Yeah. Me
like
either.
I'm in, I'll call Stanhope. Stanhope's my go-to.
He's another goat.
Yeah. Him and I, you find your group, you find your guys. Like Colin Quinn is there's my pedestal, right?
Yeah.
It's super simple. It's all New York guys.
Yeah.
It's Colin, Dave. Dave Chappelle, oddly enough, because I think he's my age. I put Dave Chappelle on that pedestal.
Yeah.
And then and it's crazy because he just has told so many jokes that I just wish I had written.
Yeah.
Like he had his structure is flawless. I'm not talking about like the.
Did you ever have time in New York? Like you lived in New York, like would go through the clubs, like you were.
No.
Living and working comic in New York, or never?
Technically,
yeah.
I worked the door at a club.
Okay, which club?
Boston Comedy Club.
Oh, nice.
So this is going to sound whatever it's going to sound like. I don't give a fuck anymore. Do you know the whole barking system?
Sure, of course. That's how I started.
That's me.
Yeah.
I created that.
Really?
But I didn't create it. Hold on, let me restart that. That was a fucking arrogant statement. So before that, it was just guys that would bark and get money. It wasn't like
you weren't getting stage time.
No one was getting stage time. There was one guy, his name is Andrew, and he was doing it to get stage time. But like Neil Brennan had done it.
Yeah.
There were some people that were doing it, but Neil wasn't a comic. He was just doing it to do it. And then I came in and was like, I want to do it and get stage time. This guy, Louis Schaefer, who was technically doing the same thing. He was barking at stage time. There's a poster or something around here.
Yeah, but, I met Louis Schaefer once.
It's in the man cave. There's the flyer that we'd hand out.
Right.
The flyer was me, DC Benny, Maceo, Jay Moore, Jim Norton, Jim Brewer, Dave Chappelle,
another legend.
Yeah, and then Louis Schaefer was in the center. That was the flyer you handed out. And I said I want to do it to get stage time. And so in lieu of money, I think maybe I got $25 a night for beer. I would get stage time, and then I got a deal after doing it for like 6 months. I got a big development deal from Will Smith.
Really?
Ironic now that he doesn't get comedy the way everyone.
Yeah.
But and then I moved to New York to LA for 7 months. And when I came back, there were 12 barkers.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. And everyone pulled me aside and they're like, hey, how did you get the deal? Like, because that's the way comedy worked back then is when you found a path in the forest that it looked like there had been footsteps on, next thing you know, everyone's on that path. Judy gets a Snickers commercial or a Monday Night Football commercial. And then everyone's like, commercials are the thing.
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan, commercials are the thing. Like, so not to say I created the barking thing, but like the craze of barking was not there when I started. As a matter of fact, Ben Bailey, Jordan Rubin, Bobby Kell, everyone, Pete Coriel, everyone told me not to bark.
Yeah.
They were like, this is not how you succeed in comedy. Trust me that you need to stop what you're doing, wait your turn, you do open mics, Esty will see you, we'll put you over. Yeah. Like, just stop, do not bark. It'll ruin your career.
Right.
So I did that for Patrice. Patrice explicitly told me not to bark. Yeah. He was like, this is not how you go about this.
Yeah.
Moved to New York or LA for 7 months, came back. There's 10 people barking. The fucking Boston's flooded with comics barking.
Barking, yeah.
And I'm now, and by the way, I went back and I just started getting spots.
Yeah.
But then I literally came back, got spots, went to LA, did a showcase, went to Scotland, did a thing with Patrice and Voss and this guy Louis Schaefer, and then moved to LA.
Yeah, I think like that whole system of barking. See, that's another thing. I didn't even know that you even had a part in all that, because I came when I started coming in 2010. That's how you start barking. I told that Broadway Comedy Club.
I told that to Pete Holmes, who had a TV show about barking.
Boston. Yeah,
and he was like, I didn't know that you barked, and I said, oh yeah. Like the whole thing was like, the reason barking got popular is because I got a deal. I got a fucking 6-figure deal. Yeah, barking, and it was like everyone's like, how? Oh, dude, I remember Bill Burr. Greg Giraldo came up to me and he said, he goes, don't tell anyone how much money you made on your deal. And I was like, too late. He's like, who did you tell? I was like, Patrice. And he was like, the worst person. I said, are you serious? He goes, okay. He was like, Bill Burr said, you got to go over and tell Esty you have a deal. She doesn't know you have a deal. She doesn't know what that is, but she'll know what it is, but you got to tell her you have a deal. You should start working the cellar. But Giraldo was very kind to me at that time and was like, because he had gotten a deal, gotten a TV show, and everyone thought my TV show was just going to go because that's the way things were at the time. And Giraldo was very like, he was, and we were both pretty high-end alcoholics. Yeah. So, but he was very, very, very sweet at the time. But when I came back, everyone was barking, and I was like, well, fuck. And by the way, I wasn't cleared. I wasn't passed anywhere but the Boston. Right. So I was like, I get spots at the Boston, but I'm not passed at the cellar. I go over to the cellar. Mark Maron vouches for me for Gnome. Gnome watches me. I pass at the cellar, and he goes, call Esty with your veils. It's funny if I tell the story. If you hear me tell the story, in the story, Gnome has an accent. Yeah. For the record. Yeah. And he did not have an accent.
Yeah. And so, how many years ago is this, roughly?
Pull up. Can you pull up? Never Mind the Buzzcocks with Mark Maron. Kurt Metzger and Big J. Okerson. Kurt Metzger was his writer. Big J. Okerson was his warm-up act. What year was Never Mind the Buzzcocks with Mark Maron? So it's 90. No, with Mark Maron. I was still in college. Yeah. Never Mind the Buzzcocks. Mark Maron. VH1. What's that year? It was 2002.
Wow.
So I got passed at the Cellar 2002. And I told Noam, I was like, you have no idea how much this means to me. It was the first thing I ever wanted was a comic tell me that I was funny. Jim Norton, first person to tell me I was funny.
Amazing.
Second thing I wanted to get passed at the Cellar. And I told Noam, I said, if you had said this to me 6 months ago, I'd be living here. I'd be the happiest guy in the world.
Right.
I said I live in LA. I'll never call in for avails.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so you never did a spot really at the Comedy Cellar?
I've done like 2, 3, 4 spots at the Cellar.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's just, I'm never in New York. And if I'm in New York, I'm not like, it's like when I'm in New York, I'm there for press and I'm so overwhelmed with my day that kind of the last thing I want to do is spots.
Of course. Yeah.
And so I've talked about with Leanne, I've talked about spending a month in New York, moving to New York for a month.
Yeah.
And living there and doing spots and doing the rounds because it's so much easier.
Yeah.
But every time, life gets in the way. And it's like, I was just talking to my agent and it's like, I'm just at a place right now where it's like, I feel like I'm in the whitewater and I'm just like going like.
Do you want to take like a rest, like a real break? What's the reason? Why do you feel like you can't? What's like the reason?
I think I'm a workaholic. I don't think I know how to. We were talking about this when we stepped outside. I don't think I know how to enjoy success. I don't think I know. It's really hard for me. I get moments of reprise. Is that the right word? Like this morning.
Yeah.
So like my brain was like, sell out the Greek. It's a little bit nuts and bolts, but like clean sellouts are. I don't obsess about them.
Yeah.
But it's when you sell something out clean.
Right.
First of all, the money's different. It's drastically different.
Of course. Yeah.
But it's like for people to understand, it's drastically different. And also it's also what I'm known for is that I'm cool with promoting. I don't have a problem promoting.
I think you're the best promoter in the game. And
I don't have a problem saturating my Instagram with promotions because I go, hey man, if you're into me, you don't mind. And if you don't like me, then don't follow me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what your peers think. We don't follow each other for that. That's for your fans.
It's free. It's free. Don't fucking mute me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, dude, the one when you're hiking up the mountains is classic.
Thank you.
Thank you. But I wanted to ask you
4,000 tickets.
That
sold 4,000 tickets.
I believe it, dude.
That day.
It's insane. Yeah, because they're again, my father would always tell me what you put into it is what you get out of it. You can tell how much you put into your promotion. So of course you get out of it. You're not just like me sometimes, like just on my fucking toilet with my phone. It's like, that's only going to get 2 comments because you're not putting anything into it. So it's like watch and learn, put in the effort, put into it, get out of it. But I'm asking you that because, I got 2 girls too. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're girls, but I have 2 children. You have 2 children. I'm a little younger than you. And at this point, even I feel, and I'm not even in the vicinity of you guys yet. I have my Patreon does well. My podcast does well. It does well enough where like my family has a good life. And I'm starting to sell, I sell like 1,500 seaters, 2,000 seaters. That's the level I'm at. Somewhere between 1,000.
By the way, hang on. That's just so you're clear. That's the mountaintop. I mean, look, you can do Red Rocks. You can do the Greek. You can do arenas. You can do ballparks. You can do I mean, there's the Gorge. There's always going to be bigger. Yeah. You can do 4 Hollywood Bowls like Chappelle just did. Yeah. You can do the Staples Center like Kevin Hart just did. Yeah. You can do the fucking Forum like Burr did last night. You can do all those.
Yeah.
12,000 seats is 1,200 seats.
Yeah.
Is the mountaintop. That's the fucking mountaintop. You sell 1,200 seats in one night. You are one of the best comics in the world. In the world. Yeah. That is all that anyone. Dude, that is the mountaintop.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you from my perspective.
Yeah,
it does. It's like
no. Well, so I'm happy you say that because I'm feeling now, even at really my career really only started to begin in a way that was like selling these tickets and doing these things and like for the last 2 years. And like I had a weekend I don't know what it was. It was just like I was in a dark place. I don't know why. It was April 8th and April 9th. I was April 8th in Indianapolis and April 9th in Denver. April 8th, we did very well in Indianapolis. And then April 9th in Denver, I sold out the Paramount Theater in Denver, which is, 1,800, whatever it is.
It's a big venue.
And in Denver, and it was amazing and all that. And it, made good money, for my standards and all that.
Who's your agent?
Mike Berkowitz.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was with UTA. They were great, but I went to Mike Berkowitz now. And when I got home, and had money and all that, money and family and all that, and I realized like what the price of everything has been for me so far is like I've missed every single one of my daughter's swim meets, and I'm like, fuck, I just made a lot of money, and I'm like, but I've been watching my daughter's life on like a phone, and it's a little like, wow, this is crazy. This is happening. It's a little like, what am I doing? Like, she's never going to be 6 again, and I missed like tons of her life. And I'm just like, yeah, I make this money, but I'm like, I've watched my kid's life through a fucking FaceTime.
Yeah.
And I'm the only dad that has been in her swim meets and it just like killed me.
Yeah.
Damn. Fucking Winston Churchill got me. So I just want, like, how do you do it? Because,
what the fuck are you talking about? How do I fucking do it? Are you fucking serious? I'm drinking at 10 in the morning. I can't tell you it gets better.
Oh, fuck.
I can't tell you it gets better.
Is this the clip?
It doesn't get better, Chris.
Fuck.
It doesn't get better.
Fuck. I really hope.
Get better.
I hope Seinfeld texted me. I hope he wrote back.
Oh, motherfucker.
So I just. Wow. I just, I don't know how to reconcile that. And I don't know how to make it better going forward. Because I don't want to miss their life, but I want to, yeah. Oh, fuck.
The good part is that you see it. Because some of us don't see it until it's too late.
Yeah, like I'm starting to feel it now. Like it's like, okay, so I have my 10-month-old and it's like, I can make a little bit less money and still give them the life that they want, and I'll have the time with them. But then you start to get in a mode where you're like, but I'm supposed to, the opportunity is now, the iron is hot now, I can get to this next level now, but what's the cost of that? Because my life, I've been trying to refrain a little bit.
I'm fine.
I shit myself.
No.
I've been trying to refrain from like trying to not make my God money and make it balanced, where I'm like, okay, you made money on that weekend, but now you get paid with your daughter's life on this weekend.
Yeah.
Have you ever cried on the pod before? I think it's the first time I've cried on the pod.
I don't
on
know.
a pod.
I cried with Tom a couple weeks ago.
What happened?
Talking about being a fucking dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I think because I think with the podcast is why we used to have no choice as parents. You have to go out and leave your kids to make the money. But now, your life, I don't know for sure, but it probably wouldn't be so radically different. You could probably go away one weekend a month because of how lucrative what you have built here and built with Tom.
But you got to build it. Like that's
the thing.
So like,
but you're built it though.
Yeah, but you got to make sure it stands.
I mean, you have a beautiful home. I know this isn't cheap and all that, but
it's not even that expensive. I mean, it sounds crazy, but like, we're financially fine, but here's the deal. I've tried to rectify this. I've felt the way you felt.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
You have no idea. You're the chord you struck with me, because I felt like that a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I remember being on a plane one time and I talked to a dude and I said, and I've had different versions of this. I've heard guys complain,
Yeah.
honey, I'm flying once a week. I should be spending time with you. I want to go to the soccer game. And I never coached softball. I taught my girls how to swing. They have beautiful swings. Then I watched some coach fuck it up.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there. I wasn't there to fix it. And that's heartbreaking. There are dads who have jobs harder than ours and spend less time with their kids and don't make as much money.
Yes.
And don't get their dreams fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know, we're fulfilling dreams.
Yes.
And so the fact that you're acknowledging it, that you're seeing it this early is so fucking healthy. I didn't see it.
Yeah, because I realized that, like, I'm
gonna definitely get drunk today.
Do it. Yeah, I probably am too now.
By the way, I'm
probably I have 2 shows tonight for the Netflix Comedy Festival that's paying me very well. I might just fly home immediately and not even do them. I'm just like, I just want to go see my kids.
Let me tell you, I'm staying. Yeah, it's you make compromises. You do make compromises, and you hope that the things you give them, like, look, man, you got to realize there's dads listening to this that empathize with us, but see it from a different angle.
Sure.
There are dads right now listening going, hey man, I'm worried about how I'm going to pay for her college. I want to give her the college.
Yeah.
That's the thing about being a dad is you have to set up a life so that they don't have to stress out and they get to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
And all the things you want for her get to happen. When she says to you, hey, I want to go to this private school with my friends, you want to be able to give that to them.
Yeah.
It's not, and it sounds so fucking, you don't have to, it's not money.
Yeah.
You got to be there for them. But our job is taking us away. And I remember sitting on a plane with the dad. I was on Travel Channel. Dude, you want to know fucking sucking the devil's cock. I did Travel Channel. I was 2 weeks on around the world. 2 weeks, gone for 2 weeks. Come home for 3 days, go do a weekend on the road, then go back out for Travel Channel for 2 weeks. I missed a lot. I missed
missed your daughter, like your daughter's first steps and like
I saw their first steps. I was broke for their first 4 years.
So you were home with them every day.
I was home a lot. But I did the road.
Yeah.
But I'd come home. I was a real attentive dad.
Yeah.
Probably until when I was 37, I got Travel Channel. Started doing Bert the Conqueror, and that's when it started getting busy for me.
Yeah.
So, when for the first 4 years of life, I was around a lot.
Because how old are your girls now?
I don't know. 17 and 15.
Okay, so 17 and 15, though, you're at a point now where maybe they, not that they don't want you around, of course.
They don't want me around. No.
They're older.
They don't. But that's the thing is that, I got lucky with Leanne. She was very much in keeping us all really tight. I got really lucky with Leanne.
Yeah.
And for all the fucking shortcomings that woman has.
Yeah.
And there are plenty.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah.
Plenty.
But you without her though.
No fucking idea.
Right. Yeah.
I got at times.
But you're not here without her.
No.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah. I'm
no
starting to realize
way.
that about my family now.
Yeah.
Even though me and my girl have issues and we're not married and all that, I actually don't have any of this even minute success compared to you guys without her. I just don't have it.
I remember sitting on a plane with a dad and I was pissing him out. I was on Travel Channel and I said, I said something, I was complaining. And he said, hey man, I just want you to know, I was in Afghanistan for 2 years. And I was like, really? Wow. And he was like, yeah, that's my job.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen my kid for 2 years. So it's not that bad. And he's like, this is what we do as dads is, it's the little things. And I came home I didn't have a ton of money at the time, but I remember I had bought them a trampoline for Christmas, and it was like that was a big purchase for us.
Sure.
And I came home that day, and my girls were jumping on the trympline, and they were Ida Grace, get it, girl. Oh, I'm gonna cry. they were just playing like really free.
Yeah,
No
free.
worries. No worries.
Yeah.
Just really free. And they were on the trampoline and they were going, get it, girl, to each other. And I went out and I thought, this is what you give them, is this freedom to be like, to not have worries. I mean, there's kids with worries.
Man.
There's kids with like legit fucking worries.
Yeah.
There's kids that are like hungry. There's like, and then there's some dads that fucking suck cock. There's some dads that really, not mean like gay dads, but like
they don't care about their kids at all.
They don't care about their kids at all. Yeah. And they're like, some people going like, dude, suck it up. Be a fucking man.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? That's what you do. And look, we're sensitive dudes.
We're sensitive dudes. And I think for me, I'm at a place, because I understand there's the dad in Afghanistan, there's the dad that has to work 3 jobs and maybe sees their children even less. But really, we can only do like what we can do, right? Like all that stuff is relative to us. You have your life, I have my life, those men have their lives. I just know for me, it's been a profound thing in me recently where I'm like, I don't want to miss. There will be times where I have to, because that everybody does. My dad didn't come to every one of my basketball games, and he was the best father of all time, but he came to most of them because sometimes you just have to work, and that's what it is. But I don't want it to be every weekend anymore and every month. It's like, I want to plan my life where, like, even if knowing that it's going to be less money, but I'm still going to give them the life that I can give them, because I'm like, I'll make the money, sure, but I won't get the time back. And the time is more valuable than the money.
It is.
So much more valuable than the money. I read this book, The 5 Things You Must Know Before You Die by John Izzo. And at the end of it, the people who were happiest, the people who were the happiest, even if they had money, all were like, I'm so happy to be surrounded by my family. None of my BMWs are here. My family is here. And I remember like being like, wow, dude, that's like a big thing. And I was like, I don't know, that weekend for some reason, I don't know what it was. It was probably because I was on edibles in Denver. And sometimes that hits you. And I had an early flight, and I was like, man, like looking at the videos of my daughter on the swim, and I was like, wow. And then I was like thinking about me. I was thinking about me and this money that I had. I'm like, this gives them that, this gives them that. And I'm like, yeah, but I asked when I got home that Sunday, I was like, oh my God. I was like, you swim last swim meet, so much. She was like, oh, it was great. And telling me all these things about this kid and that kid and this kid and that kid. And they all went out to eat, whatever. And everybody's family was there. And then I said to her, I said, let me ask you a question, Delilah. I said, next week, I said, I have to, she had a party that she had to go to that everyone's family was going to. I said, I can go to work next week. And I wanted to test her and see what she would genuinely say. I said, I go to work next week, and I can get you, if I go to work, I can get you an American Girl doll. I'll get you another American Girl doll because she loves them. Yeah. American Girl doll. Or if I don't go to work, there's no American Girl doll, but I'll be with you at the party. What'd you rather have? And she didn't even like think about or anything. She was like, I want you. I don't need the girl doll. And that's at 6. And I was like, wow, at 6, she's feeling that.
Yeah.
Because she asked me, she was like, what? She was like, do you have another house that you go to on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays? And then her mom was like that.
She is Puerto Rican.
Yeah, her mom was like that.
That's a great joke, Chris. That's a great joke. She is Puerto Rican. She's Puerto Rican. She's already doing her mom.
Yeah, she goes, do you have another house?
Where are you on Friday,
Sunday? And I was like, no, I work. And she was like, because I always feel like you leave the house Friday morning and I don't see you till Sunday night. She was like, so I thought that maybe you have another house. I want to go to the house. And I was like, yo.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, so I think it just been hit me. And that's why I was happy. When you asked me to come on the show, I was like, I want to ask Bert about that because, I look at you and your career and all your life, and you have 2 daughters. I have 2 daughters, and you're a little bit older than me. Your girls are a little bit older than my girls. And I'm like, how do you accept it and adjust to it all?
It is tough. And I got to be honest with you. Leanne once listened to me on 2 Bears, and she said, you're very critical of yourself. But I am very critical. I think that's what keeps me upright, is that I'm very critical. I don't look at anything as it was a home run. I look at it like, and I know people probably think I do, but like I always find the shortcomings. Last night, I know that there was a part of my set that I kind of fucked around at the beginning. I was moving too fast. Like I'm very critical.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're a good comic. I feel like that's the trait.
But as a parent, I've been very critical. I've always said I'm a shit dad. Because I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a great dad. Because those dads all suck. Yeah. All the dads that are like, I kill it. They suck.
Yeah,
they're not tuned in.
Yeah.
And I got lucky with Leanne. That's number 1. And number 2, think my kids got it. I think
Yeah.
the resilience of a child is underestimated.
Yeah.
That kid that's hungry in fucking Spanish Harlem right now,
Yeah.
whose mom's fucking drinking and smoking crack, and that kid bounces back.
Yeah.
And that kid turns into a fucking CEO, and that kid takes that resilience. And I think our kids, the subtle pushback they get of us going out on the road, they learn to they find that strength. I mean,
how's your relationship with your daughters now?
I mean, I got to be dead honest. It could not be better.
Wow.
It really could not be better.
It's amazing.
And you're going to go through this with your daughters. So like we were perfect. I mean, perfect until they got their periods.
Right.
When they got their periods, when Georgia got her period, she shifted. No one cuddled anymore. No one sat on laps.
Yeah.
No one kissed goodnight. I could kiss top of the head or forehead. I couldn't kiss cheeks. Like I couldn't, no kissing on the lips. That was like, Isla killed that when she was 2. The kid was 2. Let me know it made her uncomfortable.
At 2. That's
At
hilarious.
2. Yeah. At 2. You kiss George on the lips.
Yeah.
And so, and it shifted. And then over the pandemic, when these girls were supposed to develop into women, Georgia primarily was supposed to have her first kiss and supposed to experiment with drugs and alcohol and supposed to find her independence as a 15-year-old, I think, was when the pandemic started 2 years ago.
Yeah.
She was sitting with her fucking dad every night, and I think it made her crazy. And she gave me legit pushback, and we had issues. We had issues where, like, the only time I've ever had issues with this kid, I mean, and they spilled for the whole pandemic. But right now, it's George and I are like perfect.
It's amazing.
Well, I was parenting wrong. This is why I say, like, I don't really give much credit. I don't really pay too much time to cancel culture. But the one thing I talk about is redemption. The thing I understand is redemption, and that is you can learn from your mistakes.
Sure.
And I misparented that child very heavily.
Yeah.
She fucked up once, and I blew up. And then I created a paradigm within which the only way she could operate was to lie to me.
Right.
Because she already knew this is where I was going to go if I found out the truth. So why would she ever tell me the truth? Because this is where I was going.
Right.
Why not lie? We're going to get here anyway.
Right.
Lie, get away with it. And then we had some big hiccups. And right now we are at a place. She fucked up one night. I was on the road. By the way, this is why the road's brilliant.
Yeah.
Fuck everything I just said. This is why being away is awesome.
Yeah.
She fucked up one night. I'm sorry, Georgia May. I love you with all my heart. But I think this is a good conversation.
Yeah.
I love you, baby girl. I love you. We have Life 360 on our phones. I track the girls. I've tracked her. She one time was like, "You're like a psycho ex-boyfriend." I was like, "This is when I was bad dad." I was like, "Bitch, you don't even know what that's like." Yeah. I was like, "And I'm worse. You can't get rid of me."
Yeah,
like, This is, What were you doing at the church? Were you at an AA meeting?
Yeah.
So she fucked up one night. Total whatever.
Kid stuff.
Her and her friends say they're spending the night somewhere. They go to a boy's house. They party. Leanne tracks them.
Yeah.
Leanne finds them. I'm getting off stage, right? Leanne calls me. No problems. I want you to know, here's where it's at. Georgia has driven to a friend's house, driven her and her girlfriends to a boy's house. They've been drinking. She called me. I called her. Called the mom. I busted her. She wants to spend the night there. She's got her car. She told me she's been drinking. She can't drive. What do we do? I said, go out and pick her up. Now I'm on the road, so I have distance, right? I'm not in the moment. I'm not in the heat. I said, go and pick her up and have her call me in the morning. So I, fucking have a cocktail, get my bunk, get a call like 8 a.m. from Georgia. Probably her time, not mine. She's like, oh, fuck, here we go. This is bad dad time.
Yeah.
I said, I'm so proud of you. And she said, what? I said, I'm so fucking proud of you. She was, what are you talking about? I drank last night. I said, no, but you did the right thing. I said, you're going to fuck up. I was like, that's part of being a kid. You're going to fuck up. I expect you to fuck up.
Yeah.
But the fact that you were honest with us,
it's great.
I go, you didn't drink and drive, baby. That's all I give a fuck about.
Yeah.
I go, you're going to drink. And I go, and by the way, I want to drink with you one time before you go to college because I got to show you how to drink because I think you're getting too fucked up.
Yeah.
I go, if you're fucking up this big, like, let me drink with you one night. Me and you are going to sit down and I'm going to show you what a buzz should feel like.
Yeah.
What it feels like to be too drunk. I'm going to get you too drunk.
Right.
I want you to feel that. I might get you sick. I want you to fucking feel. I want you to feel the parameters of it. But I said, baby, I'm so fucking proud of you.
Right.
I said, I'll tell you what
great,
I'd like.
Great parenting, man.
Tell you what I'd like you to do.
Yeah.
I'd like you to write. Georgia's an amazing fucking writer. She's her whole life. So I'd like you to write like 500 words on what this meant to you, like what happened, what this whole experience has meant to you, and then share it with me and your mom.
Yeah.
And she started sobbing, crying.
Wow.
She's like, you get me. And I was like, I totally get you. You're me.
Yeah.
I said, you need to journal this. You need to like process this. She wrote 500 words. I'm fucking sobbing, crying at the end, going like, this fucking kid gets it. And after that moment, I've said to her everything. Tonight she has prom. I'm flying out private tomorrow. I shouldn't share this, but I don't care. We're having a very honest. I'm spending a lot of money. I'm spending a lot of money to fly because I can't get to Kansas City to do my show tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'd have to leave today.
Yeah.
Prom's tonight. I haven't gotten to see my girls, and I haven't seen my girls dress up in prom dresses.
Wow.
So prom's tonight. So I'm flying private, an obscene amount of money to see her go to prom. That's the price you pay.
Yeah.
And there are dads who can't afford that and miss the prom and just have to work.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate that, if you want to piss and moan about all my promos, so I can fly private
to Kansas City so I can make my daughter's prom.
But the one thing I can assure you is that at this prom, she may party, she may fuck up, but we did the right thing with like, I got really good kids in that sense, in that they're honest. And I think they get to see me live an honest life.
Right.
I don't have any regrets. I really don't have regrets. And I don't know how broke of a dad you got to be, but I got to be a really broke dad.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. There are some fucking moments. There are moments that broke dads right now are listening. There are broke dads listening. It's hard to read a book to your kid when you don't have money, when you don't have anything going on.
Yeah.
When you're trying to figure out what your next move is. It's hard to sit down and be present when you're not fulfilled.
Right.
And there are people not fulfilled that aren't present. And that's the one thing you get is you're present. Even when you get on that phone, you're present dad. Chris, let me tell you something, man. I can't even express this enough. The fact that you're aware of what's going on is the reason that Colin Quinn fucking met you and said, I want to be your friend. I want to help you.
I appreciate it.
It's the reason that when the first time I ever saw you do fucking a podcast or stand up, I went, who the fuck is this guy? I got to meet him. I want to meet him.
Yeah.
Dude, you have something very special about you. It's the reason that your special's blowing up. It's the reason that you have all these good things going on. Don't lose that. I've tried to stay close. I'm very candid about it. But I've tried to stay close to the fire inside me that keeps me excited about life.
Yeah.
But man, you've got it. Like that. It wasn't until too late for me that when I was on Travel Channel, I was like, what the? But you gotta understand, man. It's the struggle.
Well, I appreciate you saying those things. I think too, what your daughters, I'm certain what they see is also you as their father, like living out his dreams. And they have that example of like, you can be anything you want to be in their home, which, maybe they don't want to be comics or that, but
they have no interest. So last night was a perfect example. I said, do you guys want to bring some friends to the Greek and see me perform at the Greek? And Georgia goes, no.
Yeah.
I was like, are you sure? She's like, it's a school night. I was like, yeah, I know. Fuck school.
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, it's your job. Just go to work.
Oh shit.
You're like, fuck.
Fuck you.
I was like, bitch, it's 5,500 seats. Like, hold on, let's be very
on a
clear.
Thursday, motherfucker.
Yeah. And by the way, you're gonna go to shows here. I want you to know that I was I was like, listen, motherfucker.
Yeah.
God damn it. There's going to be alcohol there. Do you want to come now?
Yeah. I mean, but, like, that's the thing is like that they got that respect for you, but like they're now, because of you, going to go after, they're not going to think that there's a ceiling in life because of you, which is beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Whatever they choose to do.
I thought, my dad was a lawyer, so I thought you could be a lawyer and that's it.
Yeah.
I was like, you can be a lawyer. I can be a lawyer.
Yeah.
I was like,
Dude,
maybe
imagine you as a lawyer.
I'd be a great.
You'd be a fucking great lawyer.
Objection, Your Honor. Dude, I would.
Dude, you. Oh my God. Yeah, you defending me with no shirt on. It'd be fucking hilarious, dude.
You know, you're giving your daughters a life that they're never going to be able to fully appreciate, right?
Right.
But like, it's cool. I mean, you always get to be you. You get to be you fully. Like,
yeah,
that's like such a gift. When your parents had you, think about your daughters,
right?
Who they are right now. I think about Isla in Georgia. They blossom into who they get to be for real,
right?
Because there's no parameters on them, and they got to see me do it. So now that's the way they live. That's the way everyone should be. As opposed to, remember when you were a kid, and I'm sure we had similar upbringings. I know your dad was very different than my dad, but like
your dad defended my dad.
Yeah. But like you'd go to be yourself, and they'd be like, "Whoa, don't be this guy."
Yeah,
because they had seen certain guys in their neighborhood behave a certain way, and they knew that succeeded.
Yes,
and then they were like, "Hey, I want to show you how you should be. Be this guy."
Yeah,
they're not. Your kids aren't getting that. Your kids are getting, "Hey, be yourself. Blossom into who you want to be."
Yeah. I feel like that's why I said about you what I think your daughters think, because I hope that my daughters, look at me where it's like, you doesn't have to be comedy, doesn't have to be anything. But what I've trying to show them is I've, been told no probably 90% more than I've been told yes. Yeah. Most of my life has been no. I've been told no, can't do that. No from didn't get that part. No, don't get that. No, that joke doesn't work. No. But you just continue to go, like a perseverance. And I don't want them to quit. So I hope that that's what they can see from me without me even having to say that, where it's like, oh, I just, keep going, keep finding a way. And that's what I want them to, at the very least, learn. But I want to be able to simultaneously do that by like physically being there in their life. And that's why I'm like extremely motivated to try to make the podcast that I have, the podcast that I'm doing, the bigger thing, and get a big, because I'm like, I can now give them the life that I want to give them from my home or from a podcast studio very close to my home. And then this way I can only go, I can do the 1 weekend a month.
How much road work are you doing these days?
I have one more date left on my my tour, and I was out pretty much 3 weekends at minimum a month, because I've started to do theaters, so that goal of getting to the comedy clubs, I always said I wanted to do, it'd be so cool to do one show Friday in a city and one show Saturday in a city, or 2 theater shows Friday, and then boom, that's cool. And I got to live that. And it was amazing. And amazing. Hope it continues. But, I'm realizing, but went on, made the money, like, all that stuff, making money, great money. And I'm like, but again, that has taken me away from my kids. And I don't like the way I feel. I don't like who I see in the mirror because of that. So I'm like, I'm not quitting. I want to keep going with comedy. I just want to balance it out better.
You should have done this episode with Segura. He's the best at this.
Fuck.
He's the best at this.
Yeah.
He really is. He's always been the best. I'm gonna love this guy.
Hopefully,
obviously, but he's the best at this because he does. He
balances.
He balances really hard. Like everything. He doesn't really, he's always been good at that. Like I remember him telling off club managers when he was like his first time headlining. I mean, I was like, Tom, where do you get the fucking balls to do that?
Yeah.
And he's definitely, having said that, pull up Segura's schedule.
I was going to say, you want to talk about world tour?
Yeah. You want to talk about fucking Panic Attack?
Yeah.
Because I always tour like this.
Yeah.
And I think Tom took all of the pandemic off and just podcasted.
Yeah.
And I think when they said, hey, we're ready to open up touring, Tom's like, put me on the road and keep me on the road.
Right.
Look at this.
Wowzers.
Look at this. Hold on. May 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 2020, 22, 24, 26, 27, 28. Dude, God. I'm wrong. He has no fucking.
Tom is out of his mind.
He is out of his fucking mind.
But here's the thing. I bet you he goes on this tour. Wow, Anchorage, Alaska. Nice.
Wait, when's he doing Alaska?
July.
Oh, good.
He does this, but I bet you then he'll restore the balance. He'll probably not tour for a year or something, right?
I think he's secret time.
Okay, Secret Time.
I think this might be the last time you're going to see Tom Segura live in a very long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna.
I think he's lined it up.
Where I mean, through Hawaii. I mean, I'm sure he's sure he's.
Oh no, that by the way, that's not all the dates.
There's more than that.
Yeah, there's more than that.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's probably made just on this tour. You make him enough money for a lifetime on just this one.
Probably. Yeah.
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 So
I know how much money he's making.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yes. I mean, I know whatever it is. It's like I know it's good. Yeah. He's making
it's worthy of that face.
Ball player money.
Yeah. It's ball player money.
It's ball player money.
But he's like, hey man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna set up.
Yeah.
And then I'm locked down. Like he's Tom's also very young. He's like
42
he looks very old. He looks very, very old.
Yeah.
For his age. He's not 57. He looks 57.
Yeah, he does look 57.
I look like the younger Bear. I'm oddly like 2 years older than him.
Yeah.
But he's still very young. So I think he's really gonna lock down. He loves Austin. I think he's gonna spend time with his boys, let them grow up.
Yeah.
They live on they have a great house. And I think he's gonna do some movies and do projects. But dude, you do a movie. It's like
now you're away again for 3 months from your family.
Another guy. 3 months in Serbia.
Yeah, when you do that, you know what's crazy? When you were doing that in Serbia, I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And I was like, following you have so much fun. You're on Instagram stories and all that. And I remember thinking like, I think like how people's minds work is you put you see someone do something and you put yourself in that situation. What would it be? And I was like, what I loved about it, it's clear as day how much you love your family. It's obvious. And it's like, I was like, he's able to be so happy and be away from his family and still be happy and be present and love his life. Where I was like, I would be so depressed and and then I would ruin my opportunity. So I was like, how do I strike a balance where it's like you get to go away, and yes, sometimes that requires you not, missing something in your kid's life, but it's happening and you have to do it. So be present and be happy because it's your life too. Like Georgia, you have to put yourself first.
I think Georgia turned 16 when we were in Serbia.
Yeah,
maybe I don't know. I got to be honest with you. When I got to Serbia, Leanne's a fucking savage. I don't need to say that a million times, but I had a handful of people tell me the right things at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And number one, Leanne's like, fuck. Everyone said to me, have a fucking blast. Make sure that you have a great time doing this. The very first night I was there, Kale, my executive producer, I didn't drink. First night we all went, I didn't drink. And he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm not going to drink. I'm going to be sober for the movie. I want to be here. And he goes, no.
Yeah.
He was like, no. We can't decide. We can't predict right now if this is going to be a good movie or a horrible movie.
Yeah.
We can't predict if this is going to make $170 million or we lose money.
Right.
What you can predict is, are you going to have a good time on this?
Yeah.
Are you going to enjoy yourself? And if you enjoy yourself, that will show up on the screen.
Yes.
And Leanne told me, we are set. We are locked. We are good for 3 months. We don't need money for 3 months.
Yeah.
You don't make any money on a fucking movie.
Right.
She was like, we're in COVID. We're in lockdown. We're not going anywhere. She's like, have a fucking blast.
It's amazing.
She said, she was amazing. She called the studio. She said, I need a gym in whatever house. I need him in a house and I need a gym in that house.
Yeah.
And so they set up rower, weights, everything. They set up everything. Do you need to leave? Okay. And so, yeah. And so she said, I want him in a great neighborhood. I want him and Leanne set up everything. She's like, fucking have a great time. And I would call her. I would not call her. I would fuck up. And Leanne was always go out to dinner with Kale. Have a great time. Leanne flew over, spent some time with me, set up my room, set up everything.
Yeah.
But it was that you got to be present for the thing you make because you're gonna regret it if you're not.
Yeah, because you it's really not about like the end product. It's about the journey getting there. Like that's all it is. It's about the journey. That's the thing that when you get a pilot or like you said, you got a movie, which who knows? It's not about what happens with it. It's you did it. Yeah. The journey of that whole thing. That's the thing. That's the thing.
You got to enjoy yourself. You got to find the moments to celebrate Chris. Like your show on your
Backyard Bar Wars
on True TV.
Yeah, which I'm being sued for.
Are you really?
Yeah, because I didn't do season 2. They wanted me to do season 2, and I didn't do it because I was like, I don't want to miss any more of my kids' swim meets. So I said no to a season of a TV show, and I'm being sued.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, I'm in an active lawsuit, and my lawyer specifically said, please don't mention it out loud on any podcasts. Yeah, and I don't care because of fucking Winston Churchill's whiskey. I literally, they're like, what? It's a television show. I was like, yeah, I want to just do the podcast from my house because I don't want to go to Florida or whatever for 3 months and miss my kid's life.
Well, that would, I know, I'm not, I can understand.
Move.
I can understand. Look, I got to be honest with you, you made the right move. If I go back and I have money and they're like, hey, do you want to go watch 2 people swim with whales? And I was like, no, fuck them.
Yeah.
One guy can't even swim.
Yeah, I was like, not that I don't need the money. You know, money is always a good thing, but I was like, that's not
the money can't be that great. I mean, like, I know television money. Yeah. I know television money. Look, trust me. Oh, trust me. Yeah. I know for a fact what it's like to go like, hey man, I can't do it. I just.
Yeah. I was like, I'll go there. And again, like the show, like the people, I was like, I'll go there and have to go again away from my family for 2-3 months and lose money when I can make more money sitting in the next room over in my house and pick my kids up from school.
I said that to, I remember saying to someone, they were like, hey man, we want you to do this show. And I was like, I remember going, I was like, I don't mean this rude, but you don't have enough money to give me.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? And I said, well, I know what you have in your budget for talent. And I'm letting you know that and I remember telling this dude, I go, can I just tell you what I get per read on a podcast? This is on Bertcast, right? I'm not talking about 2 Bears. I'm talking about Bertcast.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. And I told him, and he went, wait, what?
Yeah.
I said, I do like 4 reads a show.
Yeah.
So that's in my backyard.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know what to tell you. He was like, I guess you've outgrown us. And I was like, no. I think the world has. Like, I think, I think the old paradigm of there's an ad sales guy over at True TV that's listening to this right now. And
shout out Mark.
Shout out to, by the way, those ad sales dudes are the best.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, fucking my ad sales guys at Travel Channel were the fucking gangsters.
Yeah, good.
I love those dudes.
Yeah.
Dude, Greg Regis, I think is. You type him in. This guy deserves. I love this motherfucker.
Yeah.
This is my fucking. Yep. The smoothest motherfucker in town.
Looks like Greg Regis.
Greg Regis. Ad sales at Discovery. Head of ad sales. Type him in. I want to see him.
There he is.
Dude.
Just a baller.
Man, I hope this clip gets to Greg.
Yeah.
He meant so much to me.
Right.
He was up front. He was direct. He was a man.
Yeah.
Big dude. He's like 6'4".
Nice.
Big dude. Looked like he played ball. Like fucking big broad shoulders, but smooth as a macchiato. Like just go like a caramel macchiato. Like smooth as fuck.
Yeah.
I remember him one time going, comes up to me and he goes, Carnival. You got a Carnival story? And I said, yeah. He goes, let's go sell Carnival Cruise. And we walked up. He was like, guys, I'd like to introduce you to Bert Kreischer. And I said, hey, how you guys doing? What are you guys doing? They said, Carnival Cruise. I went, are you serious?
Yeah.
So I love, my wife's from the South. So our idea of a vacation is a cruise ship. And they're like, for real? I said, oh, of course. There's a lot of money for, two episodes, Carnival Cruise. Man, that guy, me, I would in a heartbeat, if we could get him in podcasting, he'd change the game.
Really?
This guy was a fucking gangster. I remember him tapping me on the shoulder and he goes, oh, this guy was so fucking great. Taps me on the shoulder. We're at a big fucking ad sales dinner. And he goes, I'm giving a speech. He goes, be you. And I was like, okay. So he goes up and he goes, hey, I want to thank everyone for coming out. We had a great dinner. And at least no one got shirtless. And immediately I went, stood up and I was like, that's not it. And the place goes nuts. Yeah. That guy was he's the best.
He just knew. Yeah, man. Oh, listen.
Those ad sales guys are the best. Dude, and great executives. Great executives are the fucking best.
Yeah.
I don't know all the executives over at True. I know some of them.
They're all good. Everybody's good people.
The great executives.
That's the thing.
I know Corey.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah.
She's the best. Yeah. And they're all good people. Really, truthfully, all good people. And it was just a thing where I was like, look, and they were like, saying, oh, but you signed a contract. I was like, no, I understand. And I'm sorry. I was like, but my life has changed a little bit where it's like, I know that I signed a contract, but again,
now's when they want you.
I'm not going to get those 3 months of my life back. And I there's no reason for me to do it. If you did it in New York where I could see my kids every night, I would gladly do it. There was no option to do it in New York. So I was like, then I just can't do it. Then you'll have to sue me and I'm sorry. And they were like, well, we'll see you.
Well,
which is, you know what? And it's fine.
It's fine.
I hope that we can work together in the future in something in New York because I really enjoyed the people there. Everyone was cool as stuff.
Everyone at True is awesome. Everyone at TBS is awesome. Oddly enough, little sidebar, I think Greg Regis may be running their ad sales over at True. I think they got taken over by Discovery.
Yes.
And Discovery.
So
and he's
Regis.
yeah.
So
I think he's
Greg
be
Regis,
running.
I'll work for you in New York, baby. I just want to pick my kids up from school.
You know who one of his ad sales guys is? So God damn it, I'm fucking this up. So we're at a bar drinking one night, and his ad sale guy comes up and he goes, "You know Pete Gorielli?"
Oh, I love
Pete
Pete
Gorielli.
Gorielli.
And he goes, "Best friend." And I went, "Shut up." He goes, "Every joke Pete's got his best friend in, that's me." I went, "Shut the fuck up." I called Pete. Pete goes, "Oh, dude, best friend since childhood." And I was like, that was the badass fucking team that I got to work with.
Pete Gorielli is a good example of a guy who does so well in comedy, is hilarious, and just moved like hours outside of New York just to have a life. Just to live life.
Dude,
you get sucked into having to be in New York or LA here. That's like, no, your life is first.
You get sucked into this going like, hey, everybody, like the fucking, I mean, I did it this morning. I was like in my pool having a moment of gratitude with a cup of coffee and going, I did it. And then all of a sudden I picked my phone up like, who am I telling I did it? Like, I need to tell myself that.
Yeah.
I mean, I want my daughters to come down and be like, and then Isla called me and she goes, in the refrigerator. It's a pink carton.
Yeah.
And toast. And I was like, what? She goes, I'm not going to school today. Pink carton and toast. Have it outside my room. I go, I'm in the pool. And she goes, I don't care. And hung up. Yeah. I went, all right. That's now I'm present.
Well, you know what? So one thing I saw too, and again, it's not a be all end all, but one thing I saw was like the more public you make your life is probably because the worse your personal life is. Like if you have a desire to constantly have to show the world everything I'm doing, it's because your personal life is not as good as you think. Now, I think that's a caveat with what we do because it's like we have to be public to sell tickets and do that. But I do think about that a lot where I'm like, I'm with my kids right now. My daughter just said something hilarious. I have to make her do it again and film it so I can put it on my Instagram so that I can get views. No, just enjoy the moment that your kid did something.
Yeah.
And be home. Eddie Murphy didn't do this in 1985. There was no option to do that. And he's fine. Everything's fine. You got to show everybody everything. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to realize because, I've my special out. I was posting all these clips every day. I'm like, I want everyone to see. And then I realized like the clips aren't getting the views that I think they should. It's like a little bit like less is more. Like you don't got to put everything you do in everybody's face all the time. But I'm only learning that, again, like anything else in life, I personally think you only learn when you fail. Like you got to fail a lot to learn stuff. And I'm like, as I go through life and my career, I'm like, I don't like the way I feel when X happened. Somebody else may like the way they felt when X happened, but I don't. So then I make little notes in my head. I'm like, okay, be better next week. That's all I could do, That's all I try to do. The one thing I learned about failing, it's comedy related, but it's life related, is when I did comedy on David Letterman show, I went out 2013. I was one of like the last comics to get on before I retired.
Jesus.
Yeah. And
wait, when did I do Letterman? This is fucking
right
when I got you did Letterman before I did.
No,
yeah. I did for Travel Channel.
Yeah, but this was 2013. When were you on the Travel Channel?
I was on, and I was on Travel Channel for like 9
I did it
years.
in June of 2013. There's no way that you did it. I did it. Well, you did it on the couch. I never went on the couch. I just did stand up. You were a guest on Letterman.
Yeah,
I did stand up on it. But so I kept doing the set with Letterman. The bookers kept watching me. And,
was this Eddie Brill still there?
Yep. And the bookers kept watching me, and I would do it at Caroline's and Gotham and all that stuff. They would watch me do my set, and it would go well, and I would never get booked. Go well, never get booked. This happened for weeks, and then finally one night I did it, and it just flat. Set bombed. People didn't speak English. I sucked. Just bombed. 5 minutes of the same set that I'm doing, bombed. So I called my manager at that time, and I was like, "Yo, dude, I just bombed in front of Eddie Brill and all these people, the bookers, and I bombed, man." I was like, I had done so well with this damn set, so much they never booked me. It's like numbers game, like I bombed, so it's like it's got to be over now. And they were like, he was like, "That's weird. They booked you for next Wednesday." Like immediately, he goes, "I literally was on the phone with them 10 minutes ago. they called me and said he's booked. Next
Really?
Wednesday, clear the schedule. And I was like, whoa. So I do the set. And then after the set, when it's all over, I say to one of the other bookers, Alex, I said, why did you book me when I bombed? And his exact response was like, we just needed to know that you could fail professionally. That's all I needed to know, is that you could fail like a pro, because we couldn't have you out there being like something you implode on stage and you're on national television and then you don't do the set we approve. But the way you were able to just fail professionally that's all we needed from you. And now we're confident to book you. And I was like, wow, failing professionally, that's like a thing you could take in life outside entertainment, especially in entertainment, but outside entertainment, you take it. If you fail gracefully, that's what it is. That's what I hope my kids learn. It's like, we're all going to fail, but how do you fail?
How old are you?
Right now?
Yeah.
37.
No, yesterday.
Oh, yes. I was, what time is it?
Dude, man, you're so much smarter than I was at 37. You're so much smarter. Dude, if you can find clips of me at 37, I'm just a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Dude, you're fucking, what's
we
up,
gotta
Pete?
go? Oh,
Okay.
shit.
No. This has been a great guest bear. I was nervous because we're in the
Have you never done a bear from here?
We have. Me and Tom have done it.
Yeah.
Me and Tom have done it. But I'm nervous because sometimes my energy on that set is a little more frenetic because I'm sitting differently.
Yeah.
And here it's a little more laid
Comfy,
back.
womfy.
But man, this was
Thank you.
I
I hope you guys like it. Please don't just turn it off because Tom's not here. Just listen. We cry at some point.
Yeah,
Nick, so just listen to it. Thank you.
I really am glad that you're my friend.
Me too.
I'm
glad you're my friend.
You're a really insightful dude.
Thank
You've
you.
got everything dialed in, man. I'm really happy for you. I would love to trade places with you and tell and say I'll show you from here. It's so easy, man.
Yeah.
But dude, you've got this dialed in. You know more at 37 than I ever fucking knew at 40.
Yeah.
I'm fucking 40. I was the lostest dude ever.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you,
Congrats on the special.
Thank you, man.
Congrats on the special. I cannot wait to see you on Rogan.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Everyone watching right now, this is a must watch. So let's real quick. Let's do Rogan protocol.
Okay.
Your car comes in 5.
Okay.
Whiskey, obviously.
Yes.
Want a whiskey? Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Cigar? Never had a cigar.
Never had a cigar.
It's a good place to have your first cigar.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Well, I'm not. Don't overthink things. Things. Marijuana?
I'll do it.
Oh,
Try it. Yeah.
This is going to be the best fucking episode ever.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fucking, and if it's bad, it's even that much better.
Oh,
you can't do bad on Rogan. If you're a comic, you can't do bad on Rogan.
Okay.
Oh, I take that back. Adam Conover was pretty bad. Did you ever see that? Adam knows everything. Adam ruins everything.
It was a bad one.
Oh my god! I was like, and I love that show. I love Adam. Conover.
That show's hilarious. Great.
Adam Conover is so fucking good.
Informational.
But
it was a bad episode.
Adam Ruins Everything is such a great fucking show.
Yeah.
He's got a new documentary coming out called The G Word that I'm really excited for.
I like Adam
I love
Conover.
Adam Conover, and I kind of thought, because Rogan's always malleable to whatever the comic is.
Yeah.
You know, like you have on anyone, Jimmy Dore. I don't know if Jimmy Dore.
Jimmy Dore.
Yeah, but like,
yeah,
it was a rough one.
No,
that was a.
Well, I hope I'm going to be there in Austin. I haven't been confirmed yet. I can't wait to just be there, ready to go. So excited, and just get bumped for Elon Musk. Just immediately bumped.
No, pull a Tim Dillon and just be on with him.
Yeah, I'll be on with you.
So Elon, explain rockets to me.
Yeah. Just start pitching dumb ideas for Twitter.
Hey, my watch is solar. Is that like something you do?
It's amazing.
Hey, congrats on everything.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you for today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, baby.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Bob. Mwah.
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 Bears, 1 Cave. No scripts, a bit of booze, amateur partology. Dirty jokes, raunchy humor, no apologies. Here's what we call 2 Bears, 1 Cave.